Hello dear students, I am Dr. Anshika Srivastav. I have completed my MBBS from KGMU in the year 2025. Today we will be discussing counter current mechanism. It is a very important topic for first drop physiology exams. So let us discuss the topic. सबसे पहले we will start with factors contributing to build up of solute concentration in renal medulla. We know कि जितनी बॉडी की और interstitial spaces होती हैं वहाँ का concentration is almost equals to that of plasma, that is 300 milliosmoles. But अगर हम at the same time renal medulla का concentration देखें तो you would know कि यहाँ की concentration is as high as 1200 milliosmoles. So we have to discuss what are the factors which contribute to this staggering difference between the concentration gradients. The first factor is active transport of sodium ions and co-transport of potassium, chloride and other ions out of the thick portion of ascending limb of loop of Henle. We know कि loop of Henle के two parts होते हैं. ये हमारा glomerulus होगा, ये PCT होगा, ये हमारा thin descending limb है, ये हमारा thick ascending limb है. DCT है, then there is collecting duct. We know कि in the thick ascending limb there are active channels which transport sodium ion, potassium ion and 2 chloride ions. These channels when they push sodium out, इससे interstitial भी concentration increases. Second factor is active transport of ions from the collecting ducts. Again in collecting ducts we have multiple channels which use energy to transport solutes out, which again increases the concentration. Facilitated diffusion of urea. Now let us see why it is facilitated diffusion. This is because concentration of urea in urine is greater than that of interstitium. तो यहाँ पे active transport की जगह we are having diffusion. Alright, some urea is also diffused out, and then there is minimum amount of water absorbed from medullary tubules. अगर solute की concentration is greater than the solvent की concentration तो अपने आप total concentration of the medium increases, alright? So that is why more amount of sodium is absorbed and less amount of water is absorbed, resulting in increased concentration. Now we come to the components of countercurrent system. There are two components, the countercurrent multiplier and the countercurrent exchanger. Let us discuss the countercurrent multiplier. This is a diagram which is given in Guyton and you guys must draw this diagram in your professional exams. Let us discuss कि इसका concept क्या है. In physics, we used to study the U-tube. So let me draw a U-tube. This is nothing but the loops of Henle, the descending limb and the ascending limb. Now let us assume कि मैं एक liquid pour करती हूँ जिसकी osmolality है 300 milliosmoles. That is plasma. We know कि PCT से जो fluid filter होके आता है that is isoosmotic. अब 300 milliosmoles का fluid enters the descending limb, passes through the loop and moves out of the ascending limb. Hence, the osmolality of both the limbs is equal as well as the osmolality of interstitium is also equal. Now we know the descending limb is permeable to water only, not permeable to solutes. Ascending limb is permeable only to solutes and not permeable to water. So what happens in the second step? The solute moves out into the interstitium due to the permeability. As the solute moves out, the concentration decreases in the limb and the concentration increases in the interstitium. Suppose 100 milliosmoles इधर से गया तो 100 milliosmoles यहाँ का बढ़ जाएगा. This is what is drawn in the second step. Some amount of sodium has moved into the interstitium, so the concentration of interstitium has increased whereas the concentration of the ascending limb has decreased. Now again the concentration gradient has been developed between the descending limb and the interstitium. Now descending limb can change its osmolality only by diffusion of water. So in the next step what happens? The water moves out from the region of low concentration to the region of higher concentration. The water moves out. This is what is seen in this third step. These dotted lines, they show the movement of water moving out. Now you would ask why the concentration has not changed here. This is because there is still continuous active transport, some amount of sodium is coming again and again outside. तो जो वाटर से डाइल्यूशन हो रहा है, हमने यहाँ पे पढ़ा था ना कि अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर जितना एब्जॉर्ब होता है दैट इज मच लेसर दैन द अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्यूट जो एब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है. तो जो वाटर के कारण यहाँ की ऑस्मोलैरिटी डिक्रीज होनी चाहिए दैट इज कंपनसेटेड बाय द अमाउंट ऑफ सोडियम इंक्रीज. ठीक है, अब लाइक सपोज हम यहाँ पे मान लेते हैं कि एक साइकिल कंप्लीट हो गई. जितना 300 मिली ऑस्मोल वाला फ्लूइड था वो सारा का सारा फ्लूइड ऐसे कंसनट्रेट होता जा रहा है, धीरे धीरे इसका अमाउंट बढ़ता जा रहा है. तो हम क्या करेंगे, अगेन और अमाउंट ऑफ फ्लूइड को पुश करेंगे, फिर से यही साइकिल कंटिन्यू होगी. सम अमाउंट ऑफ सोडियम विल बी एब्जॉर्ब, तो यहाँ का कंसनट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट बढ़ता जा रहा है. यहाँ से और सोडियम एब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है, यहाँ से और अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर एब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है. When this cycle continues for 4 to 6 times, this concentration gradient is newly established. अब since the concentration जो entrance पे थी that is 300 millimoles and the concentration which is at the tip of loop of Henle is drastically increased, that is to about 1200 milliosmoles, which is 4x. It is called as counter current multiplier. Alright, now a large amount of sodium is entering the interstitium and large amount of water is also entering interstitium. If not taken care of, this sodium will be quickly washed away. But we do not want that. We want this interstitial osmolarity to be maintained. Alright, we want this interstitial osmolarity to be maintained. How is this interstitial osmolarity maintained? It is by the counter current exchanger mechanism. We know even venal medulla needs its blood supply. This blood supply is maintained by vasa recta. Vasa recta is a set of capillaries. As you can see, यहाँ पे afferent हमारे glomerular capillary है, ये efferent capillary है. इसके बाद ये डिसेंड करेगी इनटू द मेडुलरी इंटरस्टिशियम. यहाँ से ये इसका एक वेनस रिटर्न हो जाएगा. ऑलराइट, दिस इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर सप्लाइंग न्यूट्रिशन as well as for preserving the interstitial osmolality. Hence, the counter current vasa recta is not responsible for creating the gradient. But vasa recta is not responsible for gradient, but it is responsible for maintaining the gradient. Not creating gradient, for maintaining gradient. Alright, what happens here? जैसे जैसे यहाँ पर नीचे जाएगा, osmolality ज़्यादा है यहाँ पे 1200 मिली ऑस्मोल्स है, यहाँ के अराउंड कहीं 900 मिली ऑस्मोल्स होगी, यहाँ कहीं 600 मिली ऑस्मोल्स होगी, यहाँ 300 मिली ऑस्मोल्स है. जैसे जैसे लिम्फ नीचे जाएगा, ये क्या करेगा कि कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ाने के लिए सोडियम को या बाकी सॉल्यूट्स को एब्जॉर्ब करेगा. हमने देखा था ना, यहाँ से बहुत सारा सोडियम रीएब्जॉर्ब हो रहा था. हमें सोडियम के लॉस को बचाना है ताकि क्विकली ना ट्रैवल करें. वासा रेक्टा में जो ब्लड फ्लो होता है वो बहुत स्लगिश सा होता है, स्लो ब्लड फ्लो होगा यहाँ पे. तो जैसे जैसे ब्लड फ्लो कर रहा है, धीरे धीरे ये सारे सोडियम को अपने पास अंदर ब्लड वेसल के लेता जाएगा. साथ में ये क्या करेगा, कंसंट्रेशन को इंक्रीज करने के लिए कुछ अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर भी लूज करता जाएगा. तो जैसे अभी डिसेंडिंग लिम्फ था, जब ये असेंड करेगा तो अगेन इसको भी अपनी ऑस्मोलैरिटी डिक्रीज करनी है ना. तो ये क्या करेगा, ये वापस से सोडियम का लॉस कर देगा और वाटर का इन्फ्लक्स कर लेगा. इससे फंक्शन क्या होगा कि जो क्विकली लॉस हो सकता था इस चीज़ का, वॉश अवे अब नहीं होगा इसका, एंड द कंटेंट्स विल स्टे विद इन द इंटरस्टिशियम. This way, the medullary interstitial osmolality shall be maintained. This is all about counter current mechanism, that is the counter current multiplier as well as the counter current exchanger. Again guys, your profs are very near. Trust yourself, don't overthink, focus on yourself and you will have excellent results. Thank you.